Hello, epic viewers from around the multiverse. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another ribbon captaining stellar unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What item might be unboxing? What item might be opening? Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to list the box. What items encompassed inside this bulky, hefty, tangible, nifty box? Let's find out. I'm going to demystify the answer to that inquiry right here, right now. So bear with me. It will only take me billions of picoseconds to extract that in from the box and subsequently flaunt it from the camera for you to feast your glorious eyes on. Here we go. The unboxing process is about to commence. The unboxing process is officially underway. What item have I extracted? What item have I drawn forth? What item have I elicited? What item have I prompted? Let's find out. Figurine is engulfed in a bag within a bag. It's no longer relegated to the confines of a box. It is no longer consigned to an envelope. It is now liberated. Oh, I thought it was contained in 2 bags, but I made a blunder. It was only encased or trapped or relegated to a singular bag. Nonetheless, irrespective of that, this figurine is perfect, even if it does not come bundled with 2 bags. I'm just exaggerating. I'm embellishing this figurine. I want to vindicate my purchase and decision. Now, he looks like he's irate. He looks like he's infuriated. He looks like he's agitated and infuriated. And, in spite of that, I should not mimic nor emulate his personality. I should not be imbued with rage. I should be gratified, I should be buoyant, I should be jubilant, I should be content. So, enough with the antics. Let's get down to business. We have the one and only, revered, renowned, illustrious Cottonmouth. Of course, he's revered among villains. At least I presume he is. I'm not well acclimated with his lore, so I would make the arbitrary assumption that he's a villain and that he's admired amongst other villains, but who knows? Who the show knows. Now, what I love about this figurine, I love how he has this menacing, intimidating look. It truly depicts that he's malicious, and I want my supervillains to embody evil characters. I want my heroes to embody heroic, noble, valiant characters. And the evil look on his face denotes that he's an antagonist, which is what his body language and facial expression should convey off the get-go. So you can unequivocally conclude that he's a villain. I mean, that's what I can deduce just from his sculpt. Now, let's move on. I love his face. I love his aesthetics. You have these purple paint applications, these yellow paint applications. These hues are just visually appealing. I love this combination of colors. You may not like it when all these different paint applications are amalgamated together to form the costume of a superhero or supervillain, but I love a multitude of colors. I love when you have disparate hues that are a part of the character's core aesthetics. So, I also love his sculpt. He stands roughly 6 inches tall. He has ample points of articulation. He has high quality shadings. He has high quality textures. He's not abysmal by any means. I mean, his quality is not up to par with the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurine. Nonetheless, he's still meritorious in his own right. Toy Biz never churned out a 6-inch Marvel Legends Cottonmouth action figure. So, it's nice that we finally get the Cottonmouth character in action figure form. He seems to be someone's nemesis. He seems to be notorious. He seems to be sadistic. He seems to be coercive. But it just seems to be a stellar addition to a 6-inch Marvel Legends action figure collection. And I say that based on his intrinsic value. Unfortunately, he lacks finger joint articulation. He has 2 peg holes embedded in his back. Unfortunately, they're conspicuous. You can pinpoint them instantaneously. They stand out even from afar, or even from a long distance. You can notice them. It's kind of awkward that there are these gaping areas between his fingers. I would have preferred if the fists were fully clenched together, or if his hands were semi-clenched together. I just don't like the idea of the fingers being fully open. I mean, I guess he's meant to maul people or scratch his adversaries or rip them to shreds, but he's really not in a position where he can pummel them to death. But perhaps he can trounce them by causing them to bleed out. Perhaps he's more of a stealth warrior that induces damage over time against his adversaries. I mean, who knows? Perhaps they suffer from residual damage. But perhaps the bleeding will eventually subside if he manages to penetrate through their epidermis. So the strategy of just bleeding out his adversaries to death may not be viable or feasible for Cottonmouth when pitted up against superheroes. But I presume that he's a close-ranged warrior. I presume that he fights in melee combat. I presume that he's a brawler, and I presume that he does not always prevail in every single bout that he engages in. So maybe he also has other powers. Maybe he could spew venom. Maybe he can utilize acrobatic abilities. Maybe he's nimble. He's probably either a melee fighter or a stealth warrior. He's probably cunning and conniving. He's probably deceitful. He probably utilizes his guile and his cunningness and his deceitfulness and his ill will, intents to push forth his agenda. So here's Cottonmouth. I mean, I am gratified that he has an ankle pivot. He has more points of articulation than the DC Universe Classics action figures. Probably has at least 18. I mean, that's what I would presume. I paid $10 for him, and I'm gratified that his elbows are double jointed and his knees are double jointed. He can rotate his calves. He can rotate his shins or his calves. He can rotate his thighs. He can perform ankle pivots. He can perform an ab crunch. So it's nice that he has a diaphragm joint. What else? He can also rotate his wrists. He can rotate his forearms. He can rotate his biceps. The biceps and forearms rotate simultaneously. They rotate in unison. His head is relegated to a ball joint, so there's latitude for movement in that aspect, or in that area, I should say. So not bad. I just would have preferred if he had finger joint articulation. And he's not hollow inside. At least he doesn't appear to be. He has 2 peg holes embedded in the bottom of his feet. I would have preferred if the paint applications were metallic. I would have preferred if they were a bit more vivid. I mean, they could have been shinier, just like the Flash. I'll show you the golden variant of the Flash. Do you notice the difference? The paint applications seem to be more shiny, or at least they give off the illusion of being more shiny. So perhaps these are metallic paint applications, who knows, not well acclimated with paints, but his paint applications are not shiny in the least bit. I love when my action figures are shiny, but it's not always possible. And of course his legs can be moved inwards and outwards. His appendages can all be moved inwards and outwards. That obviously includes his arms and legs, so he's not a bad figurine by any means. I mean, I really need to desist from complaining. I just would have preferred if we had finger joint articulation, and if he had shiny paint applications, but other than that, I mean, I can't really complain. His face is not bad by any means. I would have preferred if his fangs were I would have preferred if his fangs were more prominent. In other words, I would have preferred if they were enlarged, and if they were bulkier, and if they were perhaps a bit sharper. And perhaps it would have been epic if his hoodie could be removed. I mean, who knows? But there's definitely endless possibilities for this figurine, if you have an imagination. His epicness is not ineffable. It has a finite limit. It hasn't beaten the threshold of ineffable epicness. Here we have the Flash DC Universe Classics figurine. Unfortunately, his joints are not double jointed. At least the knees and the elbows are not. But if they're going to give us pre-posed hands, and at least make sure that the fingers are fully clenched together and not semi-clenched together and not open, and I hope that they can give us interchangeable heads. That would have been a nifty feature. And it also would have been nice if they were a bit taller. I mean, I prefer if my action figures are closer to 7 inches if possible, and the taller the better. Who doesn't love tall action figures? But it doesn't need to be 7 inches, but it could be 6.5 inches, or half an inch under 7 inches. That would have been sufficient. But he does dwarf Kid Flash and other figurines, so his height is not abysmal per se, but taller is better in the context of Marvel Legends figurines. That's my personal, humble, objective opinion. So decide whether or not you want to procure them. I got them for $10 for $11. I may have been more reluctant to buy them for $12. I mean, I likely would have been having second thoughts about it. For $13, I would have desisted from buying him. So, I was on the fence about buying him. I decided to follow through with the purchase and decision. I'm gratified that I procured him, and I really don't have any major qualms for $10, but for $20 I can mitigate buying him. I spent $20 to get Whirlwind and Cottonmouth, so as the totality, they were $20, $10 per figure, so I mean, I can't complain. But for $20, I mean, it's just, he's not 3 times better than a Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurine. He's not even as good as a Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurine that retailed for $7.99 plus tax. But for $10 used on eBay in near mint condition, for a Cottonmouth figurine that doesn't have any major dings, nor dents, nor scratches, nor scuffs, I mean, I really can't complain, even if he doesn't come with any accessories when you buy him used. I mean, typically when you buy these figurines used via eBay, they typically are devoid of their build-a-figure piece as they come bundled with if you get them new. But I can't afford to spend an additional $10 and double the price just to receive him new with a build-a-figure piece for a character that I won't be able to complete because I can't even afford to get the whole wave or the whole set. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I would have preferred if he came with some accessories. I know if Toy Biz churned out their own Cottonmouth, it would have looked far more robust, it would have been far more intricate, it would have been more stupendous. But for a Hasbro figurine, I mean, this is a step in the right direction. And if Hasbro ever watches this, I would just like to apprise them to please, 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 please add finger joint articulation. I earnestly beg you, I implore you, I beseech you to add finger jaw articulation. It makes a world of difference, in my opinion. It's a make or break decision in terms of buying the action figure. And even if the sculpt is abysmal, I mean, a lot of the times I could vindicate buying the figure if it has finger jaw articulation, but that's typically reserved for the high quality figurines. But if you're going to charge over 3 times, well, let me just revamp that. Sorry, if you're going to charge at least 250% more for a Marvel Legends figurine than the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurine retailed for, then at least churn out figurines are up to par with the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines and not degrade from the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines. These figurines do not have 32 points or 40 points of articulation, unlike the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines. They lack a comic book, they lack ample accessories, they lack finger jaw articulation, and their aesthetics, hues, shadings, paint applications are just not up to par with the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines. And if you're puzzled, if you're baffled, if you're flustered, if you are not aware of what I'm talking about, just look up some Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines and look up some Hasbro Marvel Legends figurines, compare and contrast them, and you'll notice salient differences, and there's major disparities between them, and it's just agonizing, and it's just frustrating to know that these disparities exist, even though the Hasbro Marvel Legends figurines are 250% more expensive than the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines. This is a calamity that has transpired post Toy Biz becoming defunct. I mean, the original Hasbro Marvel Legends figurines weren't that abysmal per se, but over time they got far worse and the line exacerbated. But it's starting to become refined, and hopefully it will once again incorporate finger jaw articulation. I think some of the Hasbro Marvel Legends figurines had finger jaw articulation, but the newer ones no longer do, so it is what it is. What a shame, what a pity, but maybe Hasbro can rectify and remedy the situation in the pending future. I just hope going forward that these salient issues do not persist. I hope that they do not fester into something that's indefinite. I hope that they are rectified in the imminent future and not deferred and not overlooked and not neglected. But it is what it is. I'm done ranting and raving and going on a diatribe about this. So I hope that you deemed this video to be enthralling and insightful. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.